This cat is totally happy without a care in the world. Hey kitty kitty. Kitty 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 kitty. It's a beautiful cute cat. Hopefully no one behind the window notices and gets annoyed. But, kitty 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 kitty. Okay, well, in order to not annoy anyone, we're gonna move along. So now it is March 17th, it's St. Patrick's Day, and I'm in a very different side of town now. It's a neighborhood called Dębiec. It's really on the border of Poznań, just kind of on the outskirts. And this is really not a touristic place. You know, we can hang out in the beautiful old town as much as we want, but I want to see how people are living during the pandemic on this side of town. And here I think is one of the most colorful train stops. So there's the main station, Poznań Główna, and here we have Poznań Dębiec. And yeah, I don't know how they got away with painting it like this. It's very different. So we have the train tracks over there, and this is I think, you know, mostly for passenger trains. So this is kind of one of the minor train stations of the area, but I've actually never been in here. I think it's just the standard sort of thing. The tickets there. And there's almost no one in here. I'm not sure if I'm going to get this video posted before my Ukraine videos or not, but I mean, I guess maybe if I post this first because of the whole pandemic, you won't see the similarity, but a lot of this area kind of reminds me of Ukraine. And I don't know, I actually kind of like it. I mean, there's a certain character to it. It's not ritzy and snazzy, but yeah, it's just kind of, you know, special. Like we had the train station back there that's painted in all kind of a strange way. So it's a little bit, you know, it's less uniform. It's less, you know, same like you see most of the rest of the city. Yeah, this is definitely more like something I would expect to see in Ukraine than Poland. I mean, not that you don't see this anywhere in Poland, but just the general kind of vibe of it. I mean, I guess probably a lot of stuff hasn't been really updated. There was some... Powtórzyć? Okay, well, I think he doesn't want me to film something, so we're gonna move on. But I do like the colors of this. This fruits and vegetables. And we're gonna get more back on the main road. See some of these shops and kiosks closed, and I think some of them are because of Corona, but I think a lot of them are just like this anyways. When I was here before, there were a lot of things shut down here, so it's sometimes hard to really tell what the reason is, whether it's the pandemic or something else. It's a nice day. It's 61 degrees Fahrenheit, it's 16 degrees Celsius, and so I guess people are doing a little bit better job here staying in, so that's kind of a good thing. And when I was on my way here, when I was passing through some other places, there were definitely more people out. So I do like to see this. Some barbed wire and some stuff going on. So we're gonna cross and see what's over there in the direction of the church, but first we can see Lode Naturalna. That's a natural ice cream store. It's closed, of course. Everything here, it's closed. We have restaurant, of course, is closed. I'm sure we wouldn't really find all that much going in this direction. If we go over here, though, so this is, you know, one of the ways that a lot of times the design in this part of the world is very different than, say, if you're in North America. That we're going to be crossing some highway or some street there, and well, we can go underneath, but there's really two options. We have a bike lane, and like they're taking the bike, or we can just walk here. And it can be kind of a nice thing to have this option sometimes, to have these passages. Sometimes they can get really complicated and maze-like. There's nothing too complicated with this one, at least. So we're getting to the church. and I'm sure it's closed because they shut down all large gatherings. Yeah, this is definitely different than the rest of Poznań right now. I mean, this really is quite empty. But I can say for sure, because I was actually on the street some time ago, this is not typical. So what I was seeing I saw earlier in Ježice, there were a lot of people walking around. That's really more typical. It's like almost people were ignoring that there was a pandemic. Here, yeah, this is not typical. This is definitely different. People are staying inside or they're going to a different part of town. I don't know which. So, Loda means ice cream. That shop seems open, and I think from what I'm seeing from a distance, it's maybe hard to see from here, it looks like they're limiting it to one or two people in the shop at a time. And there's a Biedronka. It's actually owned by a Portuguese company, but it's kind of one of the most common grocery stores in Poland. I'm not sure if I really want to go in, and I think I'm going to try to minimize how many times I go into these types of places, only really when necessary to get supplies. We have a lot of giant empty fields here. So we have, there's a reasonably high population density because of a lot of these types of apartment buildings, but there's still a lot of empty space, and that's something that you don't always see really in Europe. And of course that has nothing to do with the pandemic, just kind of this region probably being more on the outskirts, you see more of that type of thing. So I think we're probably not going in Biedronka. And Biedronka, it's like a little ladybug in Polish. So I see this sign. Anytime I go back to the US and I come back to Poland, I'm always happy to just go to Biedronka. It's kind of a stupid thing. But it looks like, yeah, you can buy meat in here. Probably they're only allowing one person at a time. And how many people are in here? Well, we definitely see there's no shortage at all of toilet paper in Biedronka. And there are enough people in here that I think I would prefer not to go in. I'm not going to say that that's necessarily so safe. But if you really, really need toilet paper, you can go in there and find something. So let's check out this market. So let's see, all these little places, I think, well, it's maybe not quite the market yet, but we have this is closed regardless of coronavirus. This may be the same. Yeah, I think, okay, yeah, I'm right, the market's up ahead, but even these, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's normally open. I see some fruits and vegetables in there, but they're probably closed because of the pandemic. Yeah, so this is very different from when I was on Ježice a couple days ago. Or was it yesterday? I don't know. Time's really starting to meld together because for the most part I'm staying home, doing work. It's less of a regular schedule, so I'm forgetting what day is what. But yeah, we see pretty clearly there's just no one at this market. So on Ježice there were still people, there weren't really that many. But it looks like here it's just totally shut down. There's one guy walking around with a bottle of, I think it's vodka, and that's pretty much it. Well, I got a bird. Bird's gonna be safe, no problems there. So is this the one store that's open in the whole market? Yeah, there is actually someone in there. So if you want some magazines about Polish celebrities, you can stop by the store. So if we keep going up ahead, there's going to be another mall, and it's a very small mall, Galeria Dębiec. It's nothing like the small Poznania, and I'm going to check it out. I'm going to see if there are people there. If there are a lot of people there, I'm not going to go inside because it'll be too risky. But if it's as empty as Poznania was last night, then we'll go and take a look and see. No one's walking through the park. I'm not sure about the post offices. So we have over there, it's Poczta Polska. So that's where you go if you want to, do any postal stuff. And I think I saw people trying to get in some of them and they might have been closed. So I don't know if that's operating right now or not. I was half tempted to send some postcards now, but I think I might wait a while on that just because it's probably a bad idea. I want to take just a short detour before we go to the mall. So I found an area with these apartment buildings that looks a little bit more similar to what you normally find in Ukraine. And maybe people are watching this video because they're interested only in the pandemic. But I want to, at least while we're here, just kind of show a different looking residential area. So this looks not the same, but more what you would expect to find if you go east a bit. For starters, we have this big connected apartment block, and it goes really, really, really far. And you need an arch to go beneath it. So I've seen some giant apartment buildings when I was in Ukraine that literally house thousands of people. And it's almost like a little mini village in one apartment building. And I really don't see it in Poland that often. So to me, this is kind of an interesting neighborhood. I mean, no one in Poland would find this interesting. But to me, just kind of the layout and the architecture and everything is different. I mean, okay, the way this is different than Ukraine is like all this color, for example. You wouldn't see so much color. But you have a bunch of apartment blocks, and then there's a playground back here for the kids, and it's maybe hard to see on the video, but there's someone drying and hanging their clothes outside. So we're getting pretty close right now. So one thing that I think is definitely really nice, we have the city bikes. And I mean, I'm guessing that might be the safest option for transportation now. It's mostly what I've been using. Maybe you wear rubber gloves and have hand sanitizer just in case. But it's probably safer than getting on a crowded tram. And so you can ride, really all around the city on these. I think it's not as well designed as, for bikes as, say, the Netherlands, but there's a big push in Poland, in Poznań specifically, at least, to make it more bike friendly. And here it's not a very big mall, but this is a Galleria Dębiec. Maybe the sun is a little bit in the way. And so we're gonna see what's inside. And the only reason I even know about this place is someone told me the biggest Biedronka in Poznań is inside Galleria Dębiec. So, I mean, it's kind of a stupid, nerdy thing to care about, but that's why I came here looking for this in the first place. And probably this time of day, I mean, it's like I said, it's less crowded, but this time of day is when you would expect a lot of people. Okay, good. This is what I was hoping for. So I think it's pretty empty. Probably the only thing people are going here for is Biedronka. Just like when we were in Poznań, the only thing that people were really going for was Carrefour Market. So this is all shut down over here. So these stores, for sure, all of them are closed. And that's closed over there. And my prediction is it'll be just the Biedronka open and probably nothing else. And health and beauty's open. So of course, it's very essential. You can get some makeup, not a problem. And we have, what is this? I'm not really quite sure. Is that like a train on the water or something? Well, I'm not going to get in and risk it. It's probably too small for me anyways. Okay, this is interesting. So we have a pet store, but you can't go inside. It's roped off. I think you just need to tell them what you want and they get it for you. Then we have a pharmacy over there on the left. Yeah, so it's not just Biedronka, because you can of course go in the pharmacy. Well, this place is open. I can definitely smell the meat there. So here's the Biedronka, supposedly the biggest Biedronka in Poznań, and let's see how crowded it is, because I'm not sure if I really want to go in or not. So it's probably more crowded than that Carrefour was in Poznań, so I think we're just gonna leave. So we're gonna head somewhere else right now. So there's one more street in Dębiec I think I'm going to go to before I head off to another region of town. So it's going to kind of be the other direction that from where we're coming here. There are more kind of small shops and sort of some of these dollar store type things. I assume they're all going to be closed, but we're going to check that out. This is another one of those places you can buy bread or sweets, and on the Cukiernia stores. And I love just the artwork on this. It's, I'm sure, uniquely made for this. There's a strange looking little unique structure right over there. I think it's for garbage, but I'm not sure. But Polish bread, by the way, is amazing. So anyone wants to come to Poland, definitely maybe another time to try it. And I think, yeah, that says, if I can read it correctly, that only 2 people max allowed in at one time. But you can come and get stuff here. Let's see if there's something on the other side as well. Yeah, so the other side was more bread-based. This is more sweet and candy-based, like a donut, ice cream, cake. So this is back kind of where we were a little while ago with the church. And if we keep heading in that direction, we're going to find some more shops. Looks like the Fujifilm store is closed. We have Socks and Tights. I think that's closed, but the pizza and kebab store seems to still be open, probably for delivery, it would be my guess. And we're over the highway here. Here we have Sylvia Paper and Toys, and they just say that they're on vacation, so I have no idea where they're going to escape, but they're on vacation somewhere. Really, in this part of town, it's hard to tell what's closed because of Corona and what isn't. Like this Kwiatka is flowers, and it's an empty store inside. I assume they didn't empty it out quite so quickly. Here we have T-Mobile. I mean, I guess this is one of the main commercial parts of this district. This looks like this is, yeah, totally under lockdown right now. Żabka is going to be open, so this is a small store. These are common all over Poland, especially Poznań. So a żaba is a frog, so Żabka is like a small frog. So these are these little convenience stores. You find them everywhere. Sometimes you'll even see 2 on the same street. Here we have another pet store that seems to be open. I need to get some kitty. Yeah, basically these in Poznań, these Chiński markets, these are basically dollar stores. This cat is totally happy without a care in the world. Hey kitty kitty. Kitty 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 kitty. It's a beautiful cute cat. Hopefully no one behind the window notices and gets annoyed. But, kitty 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 kitty. Okay, well, in order to not annoy anyone, we're going to move along. I'm a little surprised at this one. Actually, the tanning salon is still open. So you got to get the priorities right. You got to keep your tan during the pandemic. So time to say bye to Dębiec for now. Dębiec is always a really interesting place for me to visit. So like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more stuff. And next time we're going to go to Wilda, which is another different and less touristic part of Poznań.